You just simply, just with a few clicks of the mouse, add in this nice beautiful macro that automatically stacks in front of our CNC code and basically runs everything automatically. The probe software takes over and we can just run the part over and over again. We decided to use the SolidCAM Probe software largely because we needed to refine our operations in our single job setups where we have possibly anywhere from 10 to 50 part run, and we don't want to commit a new fixture to this particular part job to cut down on cost and basically keep the efficiency up. So the probe software really filled that niche void for us because we were able to bring in the probe, have it find the part fast, efficiently, and keep our cycle times up without basically compromising anything. We already had the probe, it already existed in our machine, and we were able to just simply, just with a few clicks of the mouse, add in this nice beautiful macro that automatically stacks in front of our CNC code and basically runs everything automatically. The probe software takes over and we can just run the part over and over again. Let me show you how easy it is to add a probe operation into SolidCAM. So here we're going to right click into our feature tree. We're going to add an operation right up here, add probe operation. So from there, when you first open it up, it's going to default to single point. This is what we want. Before I continue, I'm going to select a tool, which is already built into my tool crib. I just select it, add it. Now if I go back to geometry, from here I can go to the create new feature tab. We're going to go ahead and select that, and then anywhere on the surface according to where my origin is, center of the circle, center of the part, up to the surface of the part, and I can select anywhere on this surface. These holes are not yet there, so I'll have to avoid them, but just if I just want to pick in the middle, it's going to drop that point right there, and then from here all I have to do is save and calculate, and then to simulate we're going to see it come down and touch right where I click. Done. So once we've finished our single Z point and I want to go ahead and add my second probe operation, which will be in this pocket, instead of exiting out, which you could do, and restarting that process all over again, we can just simply copy, and see how it brings in another toolpath right there. And the important thing is to change your feature to, in this case we're going to change it to a hole, and then from here I'm going to select new geometry, which is going to be in this pocket. So I will select the outer edge of that pocket, and then in here under technologies I want to change it, for my preference, 4 touch locations, so forward, back, left, right. And then if I want to readjust the level that the probe is going to go down into the pocket, I can just simply just come in here anywhere on the face and just select either high or low, and you can just change it right there. That's about where I want it. Go ahead and prove that. Save and calculate, and we can go ahead and show that right there, show that toolpath, and then simulate it in Solid Verify. And this will duplicate what we will see in the machine. And you can see that it leaves a little witness mark right there in the part. Basically shows you exactly where the probe, that center of that ball is going to touch, and that's extremely helpful just to make sure that you have everything exactly where you want it. And from there, that's it. That's as easy as it is to add a probe into your program. If you add the probe in after you start your toolpaths, you will have to drag them to the top, but other than that, it can't be any easier to add in this type of automation into your CNC program. I can walk you through basically a manual process that you can use the existing probe on your machine to accomplish touching off on a part, and then we can maybe show you basically what SolidCAM turns that into. So right here we have a good example of one of our parts. When we make our parts, we have customers order these parts in sizes of basically 25 thou increments sometimes. So to have a fixture to fit all of our parts on the inner diameter and the outer diameter is somewhat challenging. So sometimes when we get specialty orders for unique sizes, we will result to using a automatic 3-jaw chuck, which naturally doesn't carry a real good repeatability in the X and the Y. So we love to use probing to help us maximize our cycle of the part. And I'll just basically walk you through what it used to basically take for us to set up a part. So once I found approximately the center of the part and I get to the depth that I want, I'm going to go ahead and close the doors. Now after we have the probe aligned inside of our bore, I'm going to come up here into the G54 and we're going to make sure that we select the tool path that we want for the probe. In this case it's going to be 1, which is bore. And then I'm going to come over and I'm going to put in the approximate diameter, which in this case is 1.15 inches. And once I put that in, I don't need to do any additional adjustments. I'm not gonna, my datum isn't any distance away from it. Our center is the bore. So we're gonna leave that alone. Now I'm going to cycle start the part and I'll show you the probe. So now that we have the probe set up to find the inside of the cylinder, we're gonna go ahead and now run the program. And that final beep indicates that the data is saved into G54 for X and Y. Now all we have left to do is to find the Z. Now we're going to move our probe out of the pocket and over onto right above the top of the plane of the part. And then we're going to record the Z using a single surface. So now we're just going to go back here. We're going to do a single surface. Come over. We're only going to travel in the Z distance. So I will tell it to go roughly 200 thou, and then we'll go cycle start. So now that we showed you how to manually operate the probe on the machine, we have our SolidCAM program loaded in, and we're going to show how much faster it is. The SolidCAM Renishaw probe integration software through SolidCAM was absolutely painless. It was really fluid. It worked really well out of the box. I couldn't ask for anything more. Training support have been fantastic. This module is so well put together, we rarely have to call support. But when we have, they have been fantastic and the support is always there, instant as always. The ROI on this particular package has been fantastic. I would say after our second job that we used it, it more than paid for itself. We saved minutes per cycle. It really is needed for any shop that has a probe. You should be using SolidCAM's probe module.